In this video, I am going to tackle the 6 things that I wish I would have known before I became a cosmetologist. If you want to get into the nitty-gritty, then make sure you keep on watching. Let's say thank you to today's sponsor, Skillshare, for sponsoring this video. Skillshare is an online learning community with over 30,000 classes in any topic you can think of. Right now, I am taking this amazing class by Sonia Rasula, and I'm so in love with it because it's literally helping me organize my whole brand and look at things in a completely different perspective. It's awesome sauce because you get to learn at your own pace and your own learning style. And guess what else? The first 1,000 people to click the link in the description box below gets a free 30-day membership, and after that it's only about $10 a month. You cannot miss out on this. It ties into this video, so thank you, Skillshare. Before we get started, make sure you go ahead and subscribe here to my channel, and once you subscribe, be sure to click on that bell notification so you're notified every single time I post another video. And let's not act like you do not see my website behind me. Go ahead over there, subscribe to my website and stuff so you can stay in the loop. Number 1, the first thing that I wish I would have known going straight into the cosmetology field was how to start off my business like a business. Most of the time we think we're starting our business off like a business if we are giving like discounts to friends and family and things of that nature, but to be honest, that was one of the biggest mistakes I ever made, because however you begin is how it ends. And it's real good at first, you know, you're getting your practice in and all of that stuff, but once you're no longer practicing and you're really ready to make some real money, you have to take those practice pretend clients with low prices and take them to the new price point that you now deserve. But that could be so very difficult. I did not understand that I did not have to put myself in the position of a low earner. Please don't you ever think that just because you just got out of cosmetology school that you have to do hair for half the price of everyone else, because however you enter the industry is how people will look at you, and it's gonna be very hard for you to transition them out. I'm not gonna say that it can't be done because I did it, but it makes it very difficult if you begin with like the lowest price out just to get them in your chair, because you end up building a clientele full of people that are there for the price and not the skill. Then if somebody comes in with a price lower than yours, you could possibly lose them to that because they're for the price, not for what you do nice. Number 2, go around, was to build a whole entire brand around my cosmetology license, not just building a brand around me as a hairstylist. What do I mean by that? When it comes to cosmetology, you know, because you're the one with the license or thinking about getting one, it encompasses everything. So makeup, everything from the top of the head to the bottom of the feet, a cosmetologist could do. But most people go to cosmetology school to do hair, and that is absolutely okay. But there are so many different levels of the cosmetology field, but I had no freaking idea. I thought that as a black woman, and
I'm a black woman, so that's what my experience is gonna be. So don't say making about race. I'm a black woman in the place. Hello.
But as a black woman in the hair industry, it made it very difficult sometimes to figure out exactly where you fit. But when as it pertains to a brand, you think that all you can do is what is behind the chair. But if I would have dug really deep within my cosmetology license from the beginning, I would have saw that there was so much more for me to do. So I said all that to say this: I wish I would have focused on Cyn Doll the brand and not just Cyn Doll the silk pressed artist, because within the last 3 years, after 14 years of being the silk press girl, I had to tell everybody, hey, no, I'm not the silk press girl, I'm Cyn Doll. This is my whole entire brand. So to all of my new Cosmos out there, or if you're thinking about doing it, make sure that you do not hit the road running as the YouTube girl or just as the silk press girl or the weave girl, because fads come in and they die out. And then once the fad dies out, like if all I was the silk press girl, once silk presses are replaced with something else, I'll be replaced with something else. So I wish that I would have focused more on my brand, like more so on building myself as Cyn Doll, the cosmetologist, and not Cyn Doll, the silk press artist for natural hair. Okay, I hope that makes sense. Number 3, the economy and seasons. If people begin losing their jobs or start having any type of hardships or anything like that, one of the first things that they're gonna get rid of is what? I'm gonna be real. Hair is one of the things
that some women will get done before they pay their rent. That is very true.
But at the same time, it is something that will fluctuate. I've had clients that if they came every 2 weeks at one point and then they lose their job, obviously they can't come every 2 weeks. They may come once a month or every 6 months. That's the first thing. And then the second thing is the seasons. So I have been doing hair in Las Vegas, Nevada, and in Las Vegas, Nevada, once the summertime hits, it's like in triple digits. Like today, it's like 110 if I'm not mistaken, right? So you can imagine if I have a full-fledged clientele of women who wear their natural hair and it's 115-degree weather, there is a certain percentage of my clientele that is going to go to braiders. So there was a certain time of year, like during the summertime, where it was a little slower, so I had to make do and do other things. But then of course that's where like weaves and hair color and all of these different things come into play, because you can fill in spaces. But fresh out of cosmetology school, you do not know any of this. You just have this full flower power, like, oh
my god, I'm gonna go to cosmetology school and I'm gonna do everybody's hair and everybody's gonna see my work and they're gonna like it so much and they're gonna book appointments with me because I'm so cool.
But that is not reality. Number 4, this one will be a marketing and branding. When you are in cosmetology school, they make you believe that as soon as you get that license and you have it in your hand, that customers and clients are just gonna start falling out of the sky. And that could not be further from the truth, okay? I'm not gonna lie, I'm good, you know what I'm saying? So I had quite a few clients follow me directly out of cosmetology school, but for the most part, your girl had to start from scratch, and no one from cosmetology school helped me with one client, like with one client. That is something that you have to do 100% yourself. And I didn't understand what branding was, and I didn't understand what marketing was. And I honestly thought that branding and marketing were the same thing, but they are two completely different things. So I wish that whenever I was in cosmetology school, so I'm telling you, if you in cosmetology school or you about to go do this, whenever you are in cosmetology school, before you get your L's, you need to figure out how are you going to reach your clients and who are the clients that you want to go after, because there is no scent or bell that goes off whenever you graduate from cosmetology school or whenever you pass state boards and get your L's. It's not like everybody get a mass email like,
breaking news, there's a new stylist on the loose.
Like, that doesn't happen. I don't want you guys to do branding and marketing based on what others are doing. Number 5, which is moving in silence. Oh my god, I wish that I would have moved in silence. But in the hair industry or in the beauty industry, like, you kind of want to make an announcement for everything that you do, because that's the field that you're in. And then around the time that I was coming up, that's when like social media was popping and all of that. So it was so important to announce everything before I did it. But now in the social media age that we are living in right now, that is one of the worst things you can do. So remember that video where I did the paste on edges? Well, Janet Collection is actually not the first person who made that up. It was actually a black woman. Here is her Instagram. But because she announced things way before her patent was secured in her hand, other companies who had the muscle and manpower to reproduce her product were able to go out and do it, okay? Because whenever you get out there, it's so easy for you to see what other people are doing online. You get motivated, you think you're dope, and you just may be, but there are a lot of other really dope people too, and people are always looking for new ideas. So I wish I would have known to make sure that I had everything secure. I had my patent pending and everything before I announced something that the world has never seen before. Do not be so eager to show people what you're doing and to show people that you on the top, that you jump the gun and you end your business before it starts. You guys will be so surprised to find out how many businesses that we know of now were taken from someone else who jumped the gun. Okay, we won't go over stuff, but there are so many different things that I have created and that I've done that I see reproduced online, and of course I don't get credit for it, but it's okay because it's a learning experience. Girl, your girl's still young and fun and in the sun, you know what I'm saying? So stuff happens, but that is one thing that I wish I would have known. Move in silence, and other people do not deserve to be attached to my manifestation before it manifests. Boom. Okay, number 6. The very last thing that I wish I would have known before I entered into the hair industry was the day that I was going to exit. Most of the time when you jump into the hair industry, you just know that you want to get in it. You have no idea how long you're going to be in it, how you're going to leave, or anything. But the truth of the matter is, to be a licensed cosmetologist will be a lifelong job unless you set up your own 401k, your own pension plan. And I don't mean an actual necessarily 401k, but unless you figure out how to plan your finances. And I have to be honest and say that at the time I did not understand how things worked. And let me draw these numbers out on the screen and explain booth rent to you. Yeah, so if you can see those numbers broken down, I didn't even think about that. We make money so fast and we spend it equally so fast when you factor in all of our expenses and things of that nature, that it's so easy to run through so much money. But the average cosmetologist definitely runs through $1 million in her career, if not double that. But the way that we set up our finances and the way that we set up our business is literally made to bring money in and then throw it up out to everybody else but us. You got to think about it. Most cosmetologists pay more money on their booth rent for their studio than most of their clients pay rent for at their house. I mean, I'm just being honest, because most booth rent is about $280 a week. And when you calculate that, that's at least $1,200 a month, and some people don't even pay that in rent. Okay, so these are things that I really wish I would have known. And my mind just had a full-fledged plan, like, okay, I'm gonna do this for this long. When you think about it, that really goes into number 1, me setting everything up as a business to begin with. Because if you set it up as a business, every business has a plan to scale, to take their business from constantly doing manual labor to being able to transition out, whether you're training other people to take over your salon or you're transitioning into a different field of cosmetology, a different area of the cosmetology field. These are the 6 things that I wish I would have known before I got into the hair industry. And I have to be honest, there are way more than 6 things, but I just wanted to keep it at 6 because I don't even know if you're interested in this. So if this was interesting to you, then let me know in the comments below, and make sure you check the link in the description box so you can sign up to start, you know, using different fields of your cosmetology license or whatever licensing you have, because how many different points of yourself you'll find excitement in, and you will never know. Are constantly living within this box. I really think that Skillshare is an amazing way to help you open that box a little bit so you can see what things you may like and what other types of things you could possibly be interested in, and you never know. You could possibly start your own type of, you know, career over on Skillshare. So click the link in the description box below, and of course once you use the link, your girl does get a small little commission. So I really appreciate you for your support in advance, and until our next video, think about stuff before you do it and have a plan.